A lot of people right now, I think, are feeling anxious, overwhelmed, unmotivated, or even burned out. But I don't think that is the real problem. I think a lot of people are actually disoriented. Old goals don't motivate the way that they used to. Old identities don't quite fit anymore, and the future feels strangely unclear or foggy. And that is not a personal failure. That is a crisis in meaning. And today I want to talk about why purpose and meaning matter now more than ever, not in a philosophical way, but in a really practical, very human, very psychological way. Because purpose and meaning are not luxuries. They are orientation systems for the human soul and the human mind. Welcome to Infinite You Beautiful Souls. I'm Dr. Sheri, spiritual psychologist, multidimensional mindset mentor, soul-led success coach, and intuitive empowerment guide. And here I can help you align with your soul, your inner essence, your truth, so you can shift your subconscious programming, your identity, your belief system, and consciously create and manifest the next chapter of your life. And here on this channel, we talk about it with purpose, meaning, psychology, energy, science, spirituality, so you can reorient your life when your old goals or your old identities no longer fit. And if that resonates with you, I would love for you to hit subscribe, hit like, and definitely comment. So let's dive right into this really cool topic. Here's something psychology figured out a long time ago. Meaning is not a luxury. Meaning is an organizing principle. Your nervous system and your mind need a sense of what matters, where you're going, and why you are doing what you are doing. And without that, something very specific happens. People don't just feel sad. They feel tired in a deep way, scattered, cynical, or quietly hopeless, not because they're broken, but because their inner compass is offline. And when a human being doesn't have meaning or purpose, motivation collapses, focus begins to fragment, the nervous system stays in a low-grade state of stress, and everything feels heavier than it should. This is when people start asking, what is the point? Why bother? What does this even matter? What is this life even all about? And when those questions don't have answers, the psyche starts to shrink. And here's the distinction that really changes everything. Remember, purpose is not just a goal. Meaning is not just a belief. They are orientation systems. They tell your mind what to aim at, what to ignore, what to invest energy in, and what's worth tolerating discomfort for. When you have orientation, effort makes sense. When you don't, everything begins to feel like friction, and it almost begins to feel freaking pointless. Here's a simple way to understand how humans stay oriented. We need meaning. We need context, meaning answers. What is my life part of? What is the bigger story I'm inside of? We need purpose. We need direction. Purpose, remember, answers. What am I aiming my life at in this particular season? And then we have values, right? This is our decision filter. So we have meaning for context. We have purpose for direction, and we have values as our decision filter. So values will answer things like what gets a yes and what gets a no. And I love, and I've said this many times before, what gets a hell yes. When these three things are aligned, life really does feel coherent. And when they're not, people definitely will begin to feel lost and overwhelmed. So I think that this really matters right now because we are all expanding. The collective is expanding energetically. We're living on this timeline that is just absolutely brilliant and creative. It's definitely intense for sure, but there are a lot of really amazing energies coming out right now. But we're definitely living in a time where old maps do not work anymore, and old identities are dissolving, and frequencies are definitely shifting. Old definitions of who we are, of success, really can feel empty. And the world is changing faster than our inner models can even keep up with. So, of course, we're all feeling a little bit disoriented at this time. And for those of you that know all about this in an astrological way or a Kali Yuga sort of way, like we know the planets are doing very specific things right now to help humanity up level our collective consciousness and expand in a really cool, powerful way. But they're going to be growing pains. And like I said, of course, people feel disoriented in this, right? And I think that the days of just sort of like accumulating things for the sake of doing that, those days are kind of over. I think we're all in it for more meaning, more purpose, and more observations of being grateful for things. So I just want you to know, it doesn't mean that anything is like really wrong. It just means that we're all trying to reorganize, into this new reality. And from a deeper perspective, I see it like this. We're obviously not just body and minds. We're energetic beings. We're consciousness expressing itself through a human life. And when your life is not aligned with your deeper purpose, your soul absolutely will feel it. And that feeling will show up as restlessness, lack of motivation, or a quiet sense of something feeling like it's missing. I want to say this in a different way, because I think that the soul on one level is completely nonplussed about what is going on in mind and body. But I think when I say feel it, I'm talking about that frequency differential between what the mind is constructing and, how the body is responding to that perception, and that differential of frequency between that and the soul. So I want to be really clear about how I say that. And so, when we're thinking about feeling into like what the heck is missing, remember, it's not a pathology, right? It's guidance. It's all a contrast, right? And I say this pretty much in every video. We have the gift of contrast, of observing, more of what we want and don't want, who we are and who we are not, right? The contrast provides us with information to guide us into our next level self, into our next level expansion, if we choose to go there, right? It's always, always a choice. So here are 3 simple questions that you can ask yourself to bring your inner compass back online. So the first thing is, what actually matters to me now? What actually matters to me now, not 5 years ago? I mentioned this the other day in a video. We just ended a 9-year cycle. We're back in a brand new cycle. So for sure, you don't want to necessarily get into that space of like, what the heck was working 5 years ago? This is a great time to start anew. And the second question you can ask yourself is, what am I aiming my life at in this season? And then ask yourself, what am I saying yes to that no longer fits who I'm becoming? What are you saying yes to that no longer fits who you are becoming? You don't need perfect answers. You just need to turn the compass back on. What actually matters to me now? What am I aiming my life at in this season? And what am I saying yes to that no longer fits? What am I saying yes to that is like a hell yes that absolutely fits right here, right now? Remember that meaning is not something you find once. It is something you realign with again and again as you grow and as you expand. Purpose evolves as you evolve. Orientation is not just a one-time event. We all know that. It is a practice of conscious living. It is about being intentional with who you are becoming. And so if this resonates with you, tell me in the comments, and, tell me where you are on your journey. One thing that you know that you want to manifest, one thing that you know you want to say yes to. And if you want to go deeper into this work, you can join me for sure in my school community, my membership on the school platform, Infinite You. You get a 7-day free trial. I will put the link in the description box below for that. You can also join my free newsletter. I would love to have you there so you can get all my tips and tricks and teachings and offers and everything that you may want to explore as you connect with me further. And then also I have a really cool breakthrough session that is actually like a bundle, 2 sessions in one. And I will put the link in the description box for that. And that's where we meet, figure out what you want, who you are, what's blocking you, go away, integrate it, come back, and we will create a plan for you for 2026. All the links are in the description box below. So remember, you are not here to drift through life. You are here to live on purpose. You are a powerful co-creator of your reality, and I would love to help you on your journey. Have a beautiful day, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world, and I will see you all next time, beautiful souls. Namaste.